Yabba Shem Chef, Shalom to the left. Now, in the previous video, I said I was going to make a follow-up video talking about these bunkers that the leaks and stuff, going to. And I was just looking at some stuff that's been happening this past couple months. And it's been talking about how a lot of these CEOs, different politicians and stuff, they've been fleeing and hiding underground. Primarily, they mentioned how Trump went up underground. They was calling him bunker boy and stuff like that. And the reason why they're doing that, because these devils, they know it's about to happen, man. They read the scriptures, they got the scholars, they send them out to go study these different scrolls and different texts and all this stuff and try to line up history with prophecy. And they understand what's about to happen in society. But yeah, people would be simple about maybe this country, once things get back to normal, get back better. Hey man, this shit through, man. You can look around, just look at the despair on people's faces and see how these stores and stuff, then they be empty most of them. Because they're not empty, it's just because they just got a truck. Other than that, hey man, Babylon is through. And it's just a matter of time for the plug get pulled all the way. I'm gonna let this video play, I'm gonna just pull a few precepts.
Full-on collapse of the traditional financial system takes place. So you know what the elite have been doing for the past months and actually years? Preparing for the worst. And that is why they have been carving out their section in the underworld of America, a new home for the rich to ride out an extended crisis, survive, and still come out on top once the dust settles.
And see, look,
they call these things the billion.
The Most High got them in a fucking trick bag. But yeah, they gonna escape this judgment. They gonna hide out. They can go to their little underground bunkers, they little underwater cities, they little space hotels and shit, just so they could be the first fruits of captivity, man. How fucking beautiful is that?
Their bunkers. So when times get tough for the elite, they are much different than you and me. They don't need to go to Costco to ravage shelves. They don't need to buy beans, rice, and noodles. Most already are prepared to jet to luxury underground bunkers, some outfitted to feel like mansions, multi-level, beautiful outdoor but indoor sceneries, and stocked with years of supplies and food. And they even have their own hydroponic systems for growing their food once the stuff they have saved runs out. And with the global panic, the rich elite have been scrambling to get their bunkers ready to go, with some even retreating to theirs. But who started all of this? Who was the one that began the trend of the elite preparing for the worst and within the last decade? None other than Silicon Valley mogul and god Peter Thiel, who co-founded PayPal with none other than Elon Musk. So, back in 2016, the New Yorker did a personal piece on another Silicon Valley mogul, Sam Altman. And what did they talk about? Well, prepping and viral spreads. Sam said in the piece about things he likes to do, oh, and an odd one, I prep for survival. After a Dutch lab modified the H5N1 bird flu virus 5 years ago.
And keep this in mind what this devil's saying. After the Dutch lab modified. See, these devils, they play with viruses and shit. They don't be trying to cure shit. They try to make it stronger. That's why you got the CDC, Center of Disease Control. They ain't the Center of Disease Cure Center. It's the motherfucking control center. So they can control shit.
Making it super contagious, the chance of a lethal synthetic virus being released in the next 20 years became, well, non-zero. Yeah, that interview was in 2016, you guys. But he continued, I try not to think about it too much, but I have guns, gold, potassium iodide, antibiotics, batteries, water, gas masks from the Israel Defense Force, and a big patch of land in Big Sur I can fly to. And a little lower down in the article, the writer states, if the pandemic does come, Altman's backup plan is to fly with his friend Peter Thiel, the billionaire venture capitalist, to his house in New Zealand. This is the area of the world the billionaires are flocking to, and they all have been talking about it for some time. The New Yorker covered it in 2017. Doomsday prep for the super rich. And in the article, Reid Hoffman, co-founder of LinkedIn, said this. Saying you're buying a house in New Zealand is kind of wink wink, say no more. Once you've done the Masonic handshake, they'll be like, oh, I have a broker who sells old ICBM silos, and they're nuclear hardened, and they kind of look like they would be interesting to live in. In the article, they then asked Hoffman to estimate what share of fellow Silicon Valley billionaires have acquired some level of apocalypse insurance in the form of a hideaway in the U.S. or abroad. And he replied back in 2017, I would guess 50+%. So in 2017, they were all preparing, buying up all the properties and getting them outfitted.
That's because these devils, they sit back, like I read in the previous video in the book of Psalms, chapter 83, they take crafty counsel. So they sit back and have these little meetings, these Bilderberg meetings and shit. Rothschild and Rockefellers, DuPonts, the Gettys, and all the different so-called upper families. And they sit back and plan this shit. So this shit they don't brought out. That's one nothing but another one of their little schemes. Them with this 5G tower shit and coming out with saying it's the COVID-19 and coronavirus and all this other bullshit they come out with. Man, they've been scheming this shit up. But they, like I say, man, they're in the street bad. Let me read the scripture real quick. I'm gonna let us play a little bit more. It's in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 15. Most I've already got them set up to where they gonna go hide out and they gonna get their ass pulled out too. It says in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 15, it says, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty man and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Because they know what's coming, man. You see in the video, you see the actual footages where they hiding at. They in the mountains and shit. And Elon Musk, his thirst to go out of space. Because he knows what's coming too. He don't want to hide in the mountain. His ass want to be up in space. And let me read on some more. But he's so stupid. That's the last place you want to be when Yahweh Shah and Michael, the top archangel, and the other angels come do that war in heaven and deliver the elect. That's the last place you want to be, dumbass. You gonna hide up in the space. Yeah, let me read on some more. But yeah, I'm gonna read this whole chapter real quick. I was at verse 15. I'm gonna go ahead and go down. It says, let me see where I want to read that exactly. Alright, but yeah, I'm gonna just jump down to verse 12. It says in verse 12, it's still in chapter 6. Now it says, and I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And what's gonna cause an earthquake? When them damn nukes drop. Verse 13 it says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, and when she is shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll. When they're talking about them stars, they ain't talking about no meteors or no damn meteorites and nothing like that. Because you have people bringing out videos saying that. But if you actually seen rocket launches launch or grenade launches or missile launches out of a silo or some shit like that, or from a military base at nighttime, and when they fall, they look like stars falling from heaven. But yeah, let me get that real quick. Let me get a little clip of that. Make sure I find the clip there on fucking strike my damn channel. That shit be on right here. It says amateur footage. On you Akim, that's how these women gonna be too. When all hell be breaking loose, they gonna be out when he pussy niggas. Most of them they gonna get wiped out any damn way because they ain't gonna be able to last. First of all, most of them might more than likely ain't dealing with the majority of them. But the ones that end up lasting, man, women gonna be hunting you down. And I had experience of that the other day recently too. Shit funny as hell, but they gonna be popping up, and that's how they gonna be. And Isaiah 4:1 gonna be just like this.
You want to hear less?
You.
Hey man, let me get to what I want to show though. Now you look at it like a star falling. You actually see some stars in the backdrop back there. Alright, I ain't gonna play too much more of that. Yeah, that's basically what it's talking about, man. Ain't talking about no damn meteors or no meteorites. I'm reading verse 13 one more time. It says, "And the stars of heaven fell unto earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together." We get that how that scroll look. You ever seen how a scroll look when it's rolled up and unrolled? That's like how it look, man. So all this was in the book of Revelation is parabolic talk of how this destruction gonna take place. Yeah, lake of fire. It says, "And every mountain and island will move out of their places, because the earth gonna be shaking." Like it mentions in, I want to say in the book of Jeremiah, it says the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. It says, "And the kings of the earth and the great men." This why these billionaires, these elites, buying these damn bunkers and shit, so they can hide out underground and shit, like the scum they are. It says, "And the kings of the earth and the great men, and rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens, and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb," which is talking about Yahushua. It says, "For the great day of his wrath is come. Who shall be able to stand?" And who gonna be able to stand? The elect gonna be able to stand. Anybody else prior outside of that, though, except the elites, because they gonna make it. Like I said, they're gonna be the first fruits in the captivity. Like it says in the scriptures, "Those who lead in captivity shall go into captivity. Those who kill the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints." They gonna be the first slaves in motherfucking captivity. When the saints, that song, they be like, "Oh, when the saints go marching in," or how I like to be of that number. Hey, the saints gonna grab these damn Edomites from out of these little hills, these mountains, them damn space stations, them little underwater cities, and they getting their ass thrown in the motherfucking chain with some iron links and shit on it. Like get a taste of their own little medicine. And if you don't want that, you bug the fuck out. They've been doing this shit for the past, what, over 600 years damn near, or more. And the treatment they give our people and all that stuff. If you don't want that, if you don't want to see justice, people be talking about justice and shit. If you don't want to see no righteous justice, you fucking bug the fuck out. And the Most High gonna make you want to see that anyway. Let me pull some up.
Hint had something to do with Trump,
Let me run over
game, and or a major disaster. From the Chrono Trigger wiki, the Eris Dome is a location in Chrono Trigger, appearing in the future. It houses the remaining survivors of the horrible incident that destroyed Guardia. So yeah, it's spooky that Palmer used the Shell LLC name this for work being done on a silo, a former Fallout shelter. And Eris Dome from the game. And original sketches of the silo look also very similar, including Eris Dome having a large underground bunker network, just like the Titan 1 silo near Chico. Although the beauty of this panic between all the billionaires is it crosses party lines and doesn't discriminate based on views. Palmer Luckey, Peter Thiel, they are both avid Trumpster supporters. 2017, Palmer Luckey got booted from Facebook for his support of Trump. Wall Street Journal covered it. Why did Facebook fire a top executive? Hint, had something to do with Trump. Peter Thiel, he donated $1.25 million in 2016 and then made a large midterm splash with another $250K in 2018. What about Reid Hoffman and Sam Altman? Well, they're avid Trump haters. Reid has made a satire card game called Trump Cards, the world's biggest deck, and it's a card game for people with big hands. Reid is also an avid donator to the Democrats and even funded the data company Alloy with the goal of crushing the GOP in 2020. Altman, he publicly endorsed Hillary in 2016 and explained how much of a threat Donald was to this country, and even publicly protesting in San Francisco against a Trump Muslim ban. So it's not based on political views of Democrat versus Republican, it goes deeper. Remember what Reid Hoffman said regarding the New Zealand bunkers. Saying you're buying a house in New Zealand is kind of a wink wink, say no more. Once you've done the Masonic handshake, they'll be like, oh, I have a broker who sells old ICBM silos, and they're nuclear hardened. The Masonic handshake, which I'm sure if you dig down the rabbit hole like me, you know of the handshake of their secret club, as all secret clubs have one. You remember your clubs from back in the day, the handshake is a staple. Trumpster and the Queen, the shake. Queen and the Pope, the shake. Bush and Bono, the shake. Einstein and Judge Philip Foreman, shake. And shake, 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 shit.
Yeah, so don't get it twisted and think when they be feuding and shit, they really be against each other. You motherfuckers work together. I'm just in this off of this last scripture right here. It's the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 2. It says, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, then will I bring them down. And the hand of the Most High, they're going to use the saints. That's why it says in the scriptures, and I want to say what it is in the book of Isaiah. Let's see. So I was going to end up with that. Let me get one more. The saints shall take the kingdom. This is the book of Daniel. It says in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Because the elites, they don't want to give this world up. As you can see, they want to hide out and come out on top after this destruction. So they want to still hold on to everything. So what they got is going to be took. And the world going to be judged in a righteous manner. Like it's supposed to be. By the saints. And the saints of the Israelites, they ain't no Mother Teresa or the Pope Benedict or whoever them damn devils is over there. Them ain't the saints. So, I just want to bring this out. Lord's on this out. Call y'all about Shalom.